have too many pieces of paper.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
Connecticut Academy of Fine Arts.
Oh,
No, we're behind.
no, we're
We're beyond that. Clearing the clutter.
Oh, clearing the clutter.
I don't have info on that. And I feel like my thing's gonna go flying. Clearing the clutter.
All right.
So don't ask me that.
no, I won't ask.
We're going live. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, everybody. A little late, but here we are in beautiful Wilcox Park. You have to understand that when we move locales, we sometimes have a problem. DJ Gadget was not our problem. We came down here, well, she came down from Hartford, thinking things would be set up, and we didn't have power and a few other things, powers, chairs, just little things. But we are in good shape now, and hopefully you can see this beautiful park. I don't know how much they can see from the camera, but it is an absolutely gorgeous. I've always said 16-acre, but when Alan was here, he corrected me and said 15-acre Victorian strolling park. So if you look real hard, you'll see a bunch of Victorians strolling around. We have with us people that are in charge of this park and the big, beautiful library behind me. We have the director of the library, Brigitte Hopkins, and we have Bill Ancelata, the assistant executive director. Did I say good? No, I still didn't.
Just assistant director.
Assistant director. Yeah, he's wearing a billboard. Still
You always
get
give
it
me promotion every show. It's
Oh,
great.
that's all right. Maybe they'll get the idea.
Maybe.
It is a beautiful day here in Westerly. It's starting to approach almost too humid, but that's going to happen in a day or so. So we are here with our library folks, and you're going to tell us, now that it's June, 4th of June already,
Mhm.
what's doing in this big, beautiful library and what we'll be doing out there.
Wow. Well, there's a lot going on. Tonight, actually, is not a Hoxie Gallery opening. That actually doesn't happen until a Meet the Artist reception. Doesn't happen until June 18th. The Hoxie Gallery features the Connecticut Academy of Fine Arts. It's their 114th annual juried exhibition. And the exhibit is open to the public from June 9th through July 18th.
Are they tied?
Is that right?
Yes.
Are they
Okay.
tied in with any of those arts?
9th through the 28th.
Oh, the
When the
I'll
28th.
just talk to myself.
June 28th? All right.
Through July
Bill
20th.
and
July
It's the Bill and Brigitte show.
Amanda is listening. So Amanda,
The Amanda show.
I'll check my phone and see if we have the corrections flying in.
Thank you. But there's a Meet the Artist reception on Wednesday, June 18th from 5 to 7. If
What
you
I was
haven't checked it
trying
out.
to find out is, are they tied in with like the old Lyme Art Association or any of those museums there? Okay. Another thing I'm not allowed to
Well,
ask.
there is a.
Remember,
I do
you're
have
on
some
camera.
information about the Connecticut Academy of Fine Arts. In 1910, the Connecticut Academy of Fine Arts was established by a group of renowned Connecticut artists who enjoyed a national reputation. Their goal was to promote the art of area members. They achieved this through the annual Salon Show, a juried exhibition which held high standards of artistic ability. Artists could gain membership by proving themselves in the jury process. So, they're a
Very
nonprofit
good.
organization supported by the membership.
So it's going to be a juried show. Will there be sales, or is it nothing for sale? Is it strictly exhibition? Ask
No,
Amanda.
Amanda did get back to me and confirm that I was correct. June 9th through July 18th. Thank you,
All right.
Amanda.
Thank you, Amanda.
Yes. But tonight, from 5 to 6 p.m. is a free program, Get Organized and Clear the Clutter, Clearing Your Way to a Brighter Summer.
Clearing the. Do they make house calls?
Oh, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yes, it sure would be.
If I had the time, I actually like cleaning.
I talked to a friend the other day. She said, I've been unloading, taking stuff to Johnny Cake,
Yes.
taking stuff here, giving stuff away there, and it doesn't look like it's moved.
Ugh. The part that I hate is lugging everything
Yes.
back and forth. That's what holds me up. But also this Saturday, June 7th.
June 7th,
What's June 7th from 12 to 2?
Pride in the Park.
Yay. Yes.
right.
Awesome.
Yes, we have all sorts of
I don't have enough
folks
hands.
coming to celebrate Pride with us. We'll be right here around the fountain.
I don't think that sounds politically correct. All sorts of folks coming to celebrate Pride.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pride is for everyone.
I know.
So
I just like to annoy you. I've been doing it long
yeah,
enough.
you'll have to do a better job, Rob.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got gelato, right?
Gelato,
Yes,
fun
Ooh, then
activities.
Then I might be
There'll
one of
be-
those all sorts of
There'll
folks.
be music, and if
Yes.
it happens to rain, which
Yes.
I'm knocking on wood that it's not going to rain, it will be inside.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we'll have proclamations being read by both the by our
Town
town
council.
town council, Michael Niemeyer reading the town's proclamation for Pride Month, as well as I believe Daniel Cheeseborough, who's the first selectman in
In
Stonington.
Connecticut. Very,
Yes.
very good. That's great. And what are the hours for that again?
From noon until 2 p.m. on Saturday.
Okay.
All are welcome.
Yes.
So it's not just a speaking program.
No,
No.
no. It's mostly a celebration.
Great.
Yes.
That's
And-
wonderful. Well, our producer just left. I mean, she's walking around. I'm looking for free stuff.
We might
Uh,
still be on the air.
Yes, and we do finally have Roxy the radio dog.
Yay.
Yes. I was so happy
Roxy.
to see her.
She's lying down at the moment, but she is finally back.
We also have our artist in residence,
Mhm.
actually in residence.
And she is a writer, as I
Christine
remember.
Kubek Flynn. She's a journalist, author and journalist. She is providing 2 public programs, Imagination and the Transformation of Personal Experience in Fiction and Memoir Writing, on Thursday, June 12th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. So our writer and teaching artist will, you can join her to talk about her novel in progress, A Baby from the Back Row, followed by a writing craft discussion on imagination and the transformation of personal experience in fiction and memoir. And
A baby from the back row. It sounds like some of the movie theaters I was in as a
it
teenager.
is. It was inspired by her birth mother and the more than 2 million American girls who were sent to homes for unwed mothers in the 50s and 60s.
Wow. So is there a fee for her teaching seminar?
No,
That's terrific.
free.
And that'll be inside, I assume.
That will be inside. Yes.
And it says bring a notebook to respond to 2 writing prompts that will help you generate a story from your own life.
Yes.
Wow.
So-
And
Do
that
they have to sign up in advance so that there are enough?
Not
seats?
For
Not
this-
for that one. The second program she's doing is an introduction to personal and college essays. That's Wednesday, June 25th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. in the terrace room. Registration is required for that. So join us for this introductory writing workshop. Life challenges, relationships, identity, interests. These are just a few of the subjects personal essays explore. In this 90-minute workshop, we'll examine short published essays and college essays that worked to illuminate the ways imagery, dialogue, scene, and structure transform a personal experience into a compelling story. In-session writing prompts will help you generate ideas and essay beginnings.
And while she's here, which is until when? Is it throughout the month of June or does it
I
go
believe
into...
she's here for 6 weeks.
Okay. Did she just get here? or-
Yes.
Oh, okay. So probably into July.
Yes.
Yes.
So while she is here, now I've forgotten my question. That's okay. You have quite a waiting list, don't you, for these artists in
We
residence?
do. We have it booked up, and we're already starting to book for 2026.
Wow.
Yes.
Because I did speak to somebody in the Adirondack area who was interested.
Oh, wonderful.
And I told her to contact you. She
Yeah.
is a sculptor.
Yeah, that's awesome. There's an application right online.
Right. I saw
Yep.
that.
Yep.
Because I went online so I could tell her where to look.
And when the cottage is not being used for an artist in residence, it's available for private events. So you can reserve it for an upcoming work or family gathering or a bridal suite or birthday party, temporary office space or workshop. I think the possibilities are endless.
You just said something really good. There are a number of people that get married every year in the park. And what a great place to have the bridal suite so the bride can get ready ahead of time.
It's a small space, so it really depends upon the size of your wedding party, or if you wanted to have if you're having an intimate gathering afterwards, it could work.
But it's also a
Very
very
good.
flexible space. We definitely had it when it was restored. We did it with that in mind, so it can be used for other things than, the artist in residence program.
I think that's terrific. I really do. I'm so glad you got that going and it's all renovated and nice. And
Yes.
excellent. Okay, so what else is happening in the month of June? There's a lot. I know.
Both on Saturday, June 14th, we have author Regina Link doing an author talk and illustration demo called Big Enough. And that's Saturday, June 14th from 10 to 11 a.m. And she's a local author and an illustrator. And she'll be doing a special story time of her new book, Big Enough, which Publishers Weekly calls an organically empowering story of self-determination. Children will find out how a little boy with a big imagination overcomes his self-doubt to bring home his family's giant ox and collaborate with Regina on an illustration demonstration.
So it's a family book, it sounds like.
Yes. Yep.
And a teaching book.
Yes.
Good.
And then we also have, and this is for tweens ages 9 to 12, I guess you say Swenis workshop.
Sweenus, I
Sweenus?
thought, but it's the
Mission-
Society of Women Engineers.
Yes. New England Shoreline section for a STEM program from 1 to 2 p.m. And it's the mission to the moon touchdown. So will design and build a shock absorbing system that will protect 2 astronauts when they land.
That's the STEM and the STEAM programs have gotten so popular, especially when they started including women.
Yes.
And
Yes.
because there are so many women who are interested now
Yes.
in that and very good at math and engineering and science.
And having this group, the Society of Women Engineers, as role models.
Sure.
Right there, teaching it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's for
Amazing.
ages 9 through 12. No registration required. First come,
it
first
is
serve
for young people.
Yes.
then.
for our
Ah.
tweens.
So to get them motivated.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
And it's time to get everyone motivated for summer reading.
Woohoo!
So
Summer reading program begun yet? 'Cause
it's going to begin. We have our kickoff party here in the park, weather permitting.
Yes.
And that's
on
for adults
June-
as
June
well
28th.
as, right?
All
Yeah.
ages.
Everyone. Yes, because everyone should do summer reading. So,
Yes.
all right.
Guess what year this summer reading program is?
How long we've been doing it?
How long you been doing it?
94.
I was going to
Sorry.
guess. I
Those
would.
are-
I was actually going to go back into the teens. I was going to say like 2018 or something.
What year was it?
Okay.
Uh,
94, she said.
yeah. So 2000. 2000.
94 years you've been doing it, or
Yeah.
1994?
No, 94 years.
Wow. Then I really. So nobody is around that was probably in the first one.
There might be, but nobody I know.
No, there could be. They grew up in Westerly.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
They're younger than a century. They might
Yep,
have
could be.
a memory of it. So, yep. And the theme this year is level up at the library.
Level
So-
up. Now, what does that actually mean?
Well, it can mean all kinds of things.
I know.
You can level up your imagination, and by being creative, and you can level up in games, of course, which
Yes.
is playing games.
Yeah.
But
But it's really about play.
yes.
So it's
Or-
a play. It's a game term. Level up.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Because it's one of the many ways we learn to relate to each other and to think in new ways and build relationships and just become well-rounded individuals. And so all ages can level up at the library. And
And-
this theme's really built around play, including puzzles and games. But there's like Bill said, there's lots of ways to level up.
This is Man About Town from 321 Media. We are live in Wilcox Park. We're not taking a break right now, but I want people to know that the reason we are live in Wilcox Park is this is the annual health fair of Wood River Health. So if you are within the sound of my house, the sound of my voice, and live in town or taking a walk on this beautiful day, as I see a lot of people are, stop by. This is their 4th annual year that they've been doing it. And there are tents for all different providers, lots of free stuff they're giving away. And the most important thing you can do is to stop at the first tent, the white tent with the logo for Wood River Health, which is out front. They have a postcard there. You can help by going online and it will immediately populate and you can help save our health centers. There are 8 of them in the state of Rhode Island. They need your help. The federal government wants to knock it back. They want to cut back on Medicaid. They are in some serious prognostications and worries. So you can do it. All you have to do, you don't have to pick up a pen. You don't have to give any money. But if you go online, you'll have all the names of your local people, like we did for the library, your local senators and reps. And it's just a matter of doing a few clicks and checks, and you can help Wood River Health. So back with the library twins.
Yes. I'm still talking about our summer reading kickoff because it's so exciting.
It is. It's a great program.
We'll be playing bingo on the lawn. Feel free to bring a blanket or chair.
Literary bingo or just traditional?
The game,
Traditional.
yeah. Keeping with our gaming theme, our bingo winners will receive board games as prizes. So including Giant Sorry, Giant Candyland, Drone Home. I've never heard of that one.
How about giant candy?
Lego Monkey Palace and more to choose from. And the fun doesn't stop there. Enjoy free gelato from Pompelmo Gelato.
Yes.
So
our,
good.
Our local gelato guy. He's so good. He comes to all of these things in the
Yes.
summer and his stuff's fantastic.
Yes.
So
And-
it's free gelato.
And
Yes.
there's even a scavenger hunt. And anyone who completes the scavenger hunt will receive a small prize. It's game on at the library.
Bill, give me the dates again and the time.
June 28th.
Last of Saturday of the month.
Is our summer reading kickoff, 12 to 2 p.m. in Wilcox Park.
Okay, and if you want to know about all of these things, they can do it. How?
On our website.
On
Sign
our
up for the
website.
newsletter.
Yes. You can find out on more about us on social media, our website, sign up for a newsletter, or best yet, stop by the library.
Okay, very good. Yes.
Stop us in the street and say, "Hey, Bill, what's going on at the library?"
If you don't have a computer, that's not a problem. Just go into the library.
Yeah.
I met a lady on Monday evening who was visiting our Rotary Club. She's from Beverly, Massachusetts, and has family here. She was visiting them and is looking to buy property. And she said, every time I've come down, I've walked, because she's walking distance from downtown. I've walked somewhere different. And she said, for the first time, I went to your library. And she just raved about it Monday night to all of us. She could not believe it. So it's nice to hear.
It
Always
is.
nice to
Yes,
hear.
it is.
And I said, did you walk in the park? She said, from one end to the other.
Very nice.
Okay, what else we got?
We wanted to give a special thank you to all who contributed to our Community Connections food drive. Together, we donated 77 pounds of non-perishables to Johnny Cake.
Great.
So thank you.
And they're so happy for it.
Yes.
Yeah, more and more, the food scarcity is becoming a bigger problem because of jobs, because of money, because of things going on with the tariffs, the government, and it's only going to increase. So anytime people can do that, it's wonderful.
Yeah. I also don't want to forget to mention our Library of Things, because you can up your game with our Library of Things. We lend out travel putting practice sets. They're easy to set up anywhere, even indoors in front of a mirror, to make sure you've got good form. And once you're putting like an expert, you can check out our Game of Putt Party.
Game of Putt Party?
Putt Party is where you try to be the first to sink a golf ball into the opponent's 6 holes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is a game that you can take home and have a party in
Check
your
out
own
for
house.
free with your library card.
And please bring it back when you're done.
Yes.
Yep.
So that others may enjoy.
And there's lots of exciting things going on in the maker space. Just for those who haven't visited yet, you can convert your old VHS tapes or vinyl records to DVD or CD using our software and equipment.
If I brought my stuff in, somebody would teach me, right? Because I wouldn't have the first clue.
Yes, you would. They would show you how to use the equipment we have and the programs and software, and then you'd be off and running.
That's what you think. Okay.
Show you how to do it. All right.
Teach a man to fish.
Right.
Teach a man to convert a video. You know that old saying.
Yes. I like that better than the fish.
And they also have lots of sewing stuff, sewing machines.
That I don't like at all.
everything.
No,
So-
but I know people do. And yeah, I've seen it. And it really is so impressive. And there's no charge for any of this.
And we're soon to have another 3D printer back.
Uh-huh.
So that's coming soon.
On June 11th, which is, I can't remember what day of the week that is. It might be a Tuesday or
It's a
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Thank you. From 6 to 7 p.m., the Science of Solar Energy presentation. So what is the science behind solar? How does light become energy so you can use it in your home? You can explore these questions and bring your own for discussion with Dana Goodman, a 10-year solar industry professional, to talk about solar science discovery, history, the growth of the industry, and today's panel technology.
I think that's great because there's so much misinformation today. And if people are thinking of investing in solar, a lot of them say, I don't know who to talk to. I don't know if I'm getting the right answers. And here you've
Right.
got a professional who
Yes.
will answer their questions.
She's a solar consultant at Newport Electric Construction.
Okay, cool.
And on Thursday, June 12th, from 2 to 3 p.m., we have tax efficient charitable donation strategies. Westerly Library, Wilcox Park. Sorry.
And that means what?
That's how you can make tax efficient charitable donations to
Local
organizations that help
Like the
others,
Westerly
including
Library.
Westerly Library in Wilcox Park.
So
Okay.
a little bit of self-interest there, but
Yes, yes. One thing I noticed, they're starting way back Wednesday movie nights.
oh, cool.
So June 25th. We know nobody wants to hear it, but going back 25 years ago, they officially count that as way back. So on the last Wednesday of each month, we're reliving the glory days with free film screenings of our favorite fun, guilty pleasure films from the 2000s. This month, you can join us in the auditorium for Miss Congeniality.
That's 25
Oh,
years
is that with the
old?
old-timey actress Sandra Bullock?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
As a young gal in a
I don't
prom
think Sandra
dress.
would appreciate that.
No.
but it sounds fun.
Yes. Oh, I didn't know those were coming back.
Oh, I
Great.
thought, I
Yeah.
thought you were giving more than one movie
Oh
title.
no, that's all. Just the last Wednesday of the month.
Are
But
they going to do this the last Wednesday of every month then
as
going
far
forward?
as I know,
Yeah.
yeah, I love Way Back Wednesday.
Yeah. Old time movies.
Yes.
You know, Goodfellas.
Right.
I guess.
Is that way,
I don't know.
way back?
It's
it's
on cable
80s.
every night. That and the
um,
Shawshank Redemption
Oh, I love-
every
Oh.
single night.
We have very exciting the Friends Hidden Bookshop, which is
Ooh.
daily from the 23rd through the 28th.
Is that
Yep.
the one that's
It'll
right
be
inside this door here?
It'll be a book sale in our pop-up, the Koi pop-up space
Yeah.
in there. So it's going to be in there. They'll be selling books.
Yep.
So if you need your book sale fix, you can get it this summer, June 23rd through the 28th.
Or need your summer reads and can stock up on books? Space will be decorated like an old time bookstore and will feature gently used books from a variety of genres.
Mhm.
So it's open on the 23rd through 26th from 10 to 6.
23rd to 26th? I thought he said 28th.
Yes.
Oh,
And
I had
then
the 28th.
from 10 to 6.
Ah.
But the
Oh.
27th, 10 to 5. And the
Oh, wow.
28th, 10 to 3, which is the $10 bag sale.
Okay, the 28th, 10 to 3 is the $10 bag.
Yes. And the Friends will also be sponsoring its pop-up book sales on the Esplanade every Thursday in July and August from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then stay tuned for details about the large-scale book sale from October 20th to 25th.
Okay, that's the biggie. That's the granddaddy. That's buy your Christmas presents.
Mhm.
Those beautiful books.
Yes.
And
And
on June
there's more.
21st, we have a little event called Summer Pops going
Yes.
on
In
We
the
sure
park.
in the park. The Chorus of Westerly will be putting on their fantastic Summer Pops concert, with which looks really exciting program this
Yes.
year.
They have Mary Kate
Morrissey.
Morrissey, who just finished playing Elphaba
Yes.
in Wicked on
She
Broadway.
was the 25th Elphaba. And also Big Lux
Yes.
is considered, he is going to be one of the guest stars in that portion of the program.
Yes.
Kevin Lothar.
Yes.
And then I can tell you all about the pre-show because I wrote it this morning for
All
the
right.
paper.
All right.
There are 3 pre-show acts. There are a band called Pop, which
Mhm.
is the teenage band from the music school,
Mhm.
and it's with musicians from Westerly, North Stonington, Stonington, and Charahoe.
Great.
And right after they finish doing that, they go on tour this summer. They've actually
Wow,
booked a
that's
tour.
amazing.
They're going down as far as Delaware and Maryland, coming back through New York.
Terrific.
They've got bookings, which I think is great.
Wow.
That's
So
exciting.
they are part of it. Our good friend Arthur Migliazza,
Mhm.
Mr. Boogie Woogie,
Yep.
will be part of the pregame show. Yeah, the pre-pops show, and he is incredible. He has played Boogie Woogie all over the world, and he lives right here in Westerly and
Yes.
loves it, and has been at the library for the Dante Society and at the Nick, and he'll be there. And the third one, I bet you can guess.
Yes. Morrissey men.
That's Morris.
Morris men.
Morris.
Why did I say
Morris.
Morrissey?
Because of Kate.
That's the same
Mary
thing as
Kate.
Morris Men, only they whine a lot more.
The Morris men. They have never missed a Pops. This is the 44th year for the Pops. And I spoke to him this morning, to Peter, and they will be here doing their thing. So it's going to be, and I have no idea yet what the lineup is from Andrew Howell and the chorus and the orchestra, but it's always great.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
then the Grucci fireworks, and it's fantastic. We just have to pray for weather.
I've gotten a little glimpse of the lineup, and I will not reveal, but It's pretty good.
Well, they always have
Oh, yeah.
something for everybody.
Mhm.
Yes.
You know, they'll have rock, they'll have
Yes.
Broadway, they'll have classical, always have a march. You know, so it really is good.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's the 21st, and they have one rain date only, and that's the 22nd.
Yes.
If it rains both dates, we cry, we lose a lot of money, and that's it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But hopefully that will not happen. They do everything to make it happen.
All right. Cool. And there's more music. Summer Strings, a student violin concert on Sunday the 29th from 1 to 2 p.m.
In the park.
Yes,
or
it's
upstairs.
Sunday.
Sure. Oh,
It's
must be in
Sunday.
the park.
I believe it's in the band. It might be in the bandstand.
Oh, that would make sense.
Yes.
So it's Summer Strings.
Summer Strings, a student violin concert.
Ooh, very
So
good.
students will be
Mhm.
performing Sunday the 29th from 1 to 2 p.m. So, all
Excellent.
right. And we
And- I mean, of course, we've got so many other things going on. In the makerspace, we have our regular crafternoon to goes and take and makes, which are available the first Monday of the month. We have our tech socials on the second and fourth Wednesdays, laser cutting basics with the glow forge and sewing basics.
This is probably a good time to remind people, have you to remind people, because you've got the sheets in front of you. School's going to be out soon.
the 20th.
And
In
if you're
Westerly.
wondering, what am I going to do with the kids this summer? And if you're getting the mom on board, what do I do? There's something almost every day for little kids, babies, preteens,
Mhm.
teens.
Yep.
And you feed them too, don't you? I mean, you
Oh.
snack them. You don't. You're not giving them lunches.
No,
But-
no. But there are snacks available. So,
Yes.
So if
So-
you want to mention any of those things, because it's not
Yeah.
just the summer
Yeah.
reading program, they can
Yeah.
come and just find good stuff to do. A lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
crafts.
We're open year round.
we have stuff for little kids. We have stuff for tweens. My Animation Nation program is coming back on
Oh, yeah.
Wednesday afternoons, I believe at 2:00. And
It's your
yeah, we're
program,
making
you should know.
Lego stop motion movies. It's a lot of fun. So everyone should come and check it out. People pop in and out throughout the summer, and then we take all our footage and we put the movies together in the fall. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So,
Yes. Sorry, I did not mean. When I talk out loud, I yawn. So I just did my yawn for the day.
Well, I wasn't
you
looking at
yawned
you.
during my program.
I did. I'm sorry. I'm
Wow.
sorry.
There are a
Um,
lot of people
how's Costa
yawning
5K
during your
going, Brigitte?
program.
Yeah, that didn't work out so well. But there's a sound bath in the park on Wednesday, June 18th from 4 to 5 p.m.
Ooh,
So hopefully it's a
Please tell
love.
me what that
Okay.
is. It was mentioned last time.
Bring a towel, lay down, and listen to
sounds. I think they
soothing sounds.
Like
And you let
white
it-
noise type.
wash over you,
Yes.
so it's like a
They'll-
sound bath.
Yeah, I think it's partly meditative.
Ah.
Um,
And
Yeah.
who is running that? Is it one of the gals from the yoga? Okay, if Amanda doesn't call in, we don't.
Yes.
It doesn't matter.
I know. Did you see
At
me?
what time is the sound bath?
4 to 5 p.m. on Wednesday, June 18th.
4 to 5 p.m.
Yes. And we still have our ongoing eccentric stretch on Wednesdays from 9:30 to 10:30, beginning today, June 4th. There's the walking tour of Wilcox Park. There's native flowers and trees on the second Saturday of the month through October. And then there's the specimen tree tour, which is on the fourth Saturday of every month through
Is
October.
that one Alan does or URI people?
URI Master Gardeners.
Okay.
And then, of course, on all of the days of the tree tours, there's also the URI Master Gardener kiosk where you can ask questions and get answers.
Great.
Cool. Kids programs. We have Play-Doh playtime on the first Wednesday of the month.
Do you
That's
supply the Play-Doh?
Oh yeah. Yes, we do.
You must have quite a budget for all this stuff. I mean, all these craft supplies and
Mhm.
all the stuff you give to people.
Well, I think We have a decent budget, but I know other libraries who have larger budgets. One thing that's really wonderful is that our summer reading program for all of our youth is funded through the generosity of the Skolkos.
Uh,
And
Thomas
and Cynthia, Dr.
Cynthia,
Thomas and Cynthia Skolko. And
they are the people who are sponsoring if it opens on time. Well, it hasn't yet.
Yeah.
It was supposed to open by spring.
and
New art gallery.
and they just love the library and the park, and it's held dear in their hearts, and they wanted the youth in our community to experience the same thing they did, and so it's in perpetuity.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
It's great when you have people like that in a community like this
Yes.
with a facility like this.
Yes. Yes.
It's just a win,
Yes.
win, win.
Yes. And so that certainly helps us with our non-summer programming. And then some of the programming starting in July and as well as August will be a little different, themed around probably the summer reading program.
Yes.
So they may change up. So this is June, but it may not be the same in July.
Yes.
Although the baby playtime and toddler playtime are still happening on Thursdays.
Yeah,
Right.
those are still very popular. They
Full
grow and
house.
grow. Lots of people coming. What is the baby playtime? First and third Thursday. Kids craft time is the second and fourth Thursday. And sensory Saturday is first Saturday of every month. So
Oh, look who's back. It's the producer du jour as she went throughout the park.
does this mean we have to start from the beginning? Okay.
Well, what I would like you to do, though, not just for her, but for people that tune in at different times, we've got about 9 or 10 minutes left. I'd like you to mention again the things that are upcoming this week or weekend, and you've got the Pride in the Park, and that's a biggie.
Yes, that is this coming Saturday, Pride in the Park, which is open to everyone in the community to come out and celebrate our differences here, right around the fountain. So we'll have gelato and
Lots of fun activities and music, but it's open to all ages. Everyone is welcome. Yep.
Great.
And then tonight there's also the Get Organized and Clear the Clutter program from 6 to 7 p.m.
That is such an important one, and it's coming at a good time, too, I think.
Yeah. Also, right before Pride in the Park is a community yoga class from 10 to 11:15
On Saturday the 7th.
this Saturday the 7th. And
And that's in the park.
in the park. And then on Sunday from 4 to 5:30, there's we can't see it from here, but there's a sign over there about the Westerly Band Children's Concert and Teddy Bear Picnic.
Bear. When
Oh.
is that?
When?
When?
Oh, this Sunday from 4 to 5:30.
That's always so great. I love to see the pictures in the paper after that.
Yeah.
They're so terrific.
Yeah, there's so much going on. The
Yeah.
best way to find out is to log on to our website, check out our calendar of events, but we also have our June newsletter, which you can sign up for. It's at the bottom of our homepage, so it goes right to your inbox.
That woman that was at the Rotary meeting on Monday that was complimenting the library and the park, she just said, it appears that it's so much more than books. I said, yeah, that's what we say all the time.
Yes.
She said, I've been to a lot of libraries. I think she's retired now. She was a nurse in the Boston area. And she said, I've been many places and I love libraries. But and the other thing she mentioned, which I have trouble sometimes not being able to assimilate it, but I'm getting better. You can make noise in this library. When you go down to the kids' room, it's not shh, because that's how I was raised. We're in the library. You can't talk or talk very low. And Here, they want you to
Yep.
yell and annoy Bill when they play Dungeons and Dragons.
Yep.
It's never annoying.
No.
No,
Well, you,
no.
you
The way
said
libra-
you love listening to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The way libraries are used now is different because the needs of
Way
our
different.
community members are different.
Yes.
And so we're not fighting that. You know,
Yeah.
everyone's welcome. As long as nobody disturbs others using the library, then
Yeah.
everyone needs a
And
library for something.
you have spaces for people that just want the quiet.
Yes.
Oh, yes. If you
Because-
go up to our second floor, it's much quieter up there
Yep.
than it is down the children's
Yeah.
room.
And there's 2 study rooms that you can reserve
Ah.
for private use.
Mhm.
I know
as
there's
well.
a man I've seen here a number of times.
Mhm.
I think he's on the second floor, an older man who seems to have his spot.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
and that's fine.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's as much for him as it is for the little kids running around
Yep.
downstairs squealing.
Yes. Yes.
You got any social things coming up? Any fundraisers?
No fundraisers.
Want to make one up? We got 5 minutes.
Sure.
Drive Amanda crazy.
Yeah, we actually I did want because I love Barefoot Contessa. The cookbook club this month, and
Ah.
it's the second Wednesday of the month, so that's next Wednesday. They're doing Barefoot Contessa Foolproof cookbook. So
Is that the new one?
I believe so.
She was just on Sunday morning with Willie Geist last Sunday.
Mhm.
And she loves to do, she said, I don't know if she would come here, but they had a place in New York picked out and they had sold tickets and there was an audience of people, mostly women, but there was an audience of people and they had written questions down ahead of time and then she would answer them. And she's very charming. She can speak very well on her feet. I think that would be a great program, whether the library did it, the Dante Society did it, but I think you'd get people in and you could make some money. And you've got the space upstairs to do that.
Well, we got a lot of answers from Amanda, so I want to work those in. If you've
Okay.
been listening through this whole
Driving
show,
Amanda nuts.
Now it's time for our correction section.
there are sales at the
Art show.
art show. Thank
Okay.
you. The art show, you can purchase. You don't purchase on site, but you can contact the artist directly. And then I don't know what that means. Way Back Wednesday goes through September.
That's the movie,
July,
right? Yeah.
they're showing Legally Blonde.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Okay, so we're beginning with Miss Congeniality.
yes.
And
And
then
then we're
Legally
going
Blonde.
legally. Yeah, there's definitely a pattern here.
Yes.
Ah.
I wonder what September
Mean
will
Girls has got to be in
Au-
there somewhere.
what will be in August and September. And then is that the sound bath, that Zen Zone?
Yep.
Zen Zone with Monica? Yes. And then
you weren't here, so we don't need.
we have over 15 organizations joining us for the Pride in the Park. So
Oh, terrific.
yes.
So it's going to be a very full park.
Yeah.
August, how to lose a guy in 10 days. Thank you, Amanda. What would we do without you? And September
She could have come right
I
out
know.
here and
and
slapped you.
September is 10 things I hate about you.
Yeah, there is a pattern to these. Definitely.
Well, they
Who selected the
they
movies?
picked a genre
Amanda?
and they stuck with it.
Yes.
So,
It's the 2000s.
yeah.
Well, as always, it was great having you, Brigitte and Bill, from the
Great to
Westerly
be here.
Public
Thank you.
Library and Wilcox Park. I will not give anybody directions. It's here.
Yes.
Again, I don't know, Gadget, how your cameras are set, if it's just on us or if people can see any part of this gorgeous park. I wish.
And if they follow us on social media, I have reels going as we speak.
Excellent. And on social media, on
321
321
Media
Media. Okay. But on which platforms?
on Facebook and Instagram and
Weirdsterly.
YouTube, and there's Weirdsterly. I can share them again. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Very good.
Yeah. And I will not be here in July. I'll be on vacation.
No, that's not fair.
So Bill has
I
to
will
find
be here.
someone else.
You will be here, so
Yes.
you will be then the executive
Yes.
director.
Yes.
Sit in the big chair.
Complete power.
Okay. Well, we hope you have a great vacation.
Thank you.
And are your boys the type to say, "Mom, I'm bored. What are we going
Oh
to do
yeah.
all summer?"
And then I channel my mother and say only boring people get bored.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Does it work?
Yep.
Oh. Oh, I got to try that on people. Thank you very much. We are going to take a very short break while we switch out and we go from library to law. And we'll be back with Detective Howie Mills. This is Man About Town, 321 Media in downtown Westerly, coming right back at you.
Experience local excellence with Roof Right Roofing in Charlestown, Rhode Island. With over 40 years of unmatched expertise, Roof Right specializes in architectural shingles and holds the prestigious title of GAF Master Elite Installers. Known for their commitment to the community and support for local initiatives, Roof Right is your trusted partner for all of your home's roofing needs. Call today for a free estimate at 401-212-4140.
Hi, this is Dan from Lathrop Insurance. In this challenging insurance environment, Lathrop Insurance can be your beacon in the storm to help you find the coverage you need at the right price. Now, more than ever, you need a partner in the insurance industry that can work with multiple carriers to make sure you have the right coverage at the right price. Lathrop Insurance carries home, auto, and business insurance and can be reached at 401-596-2525. We've been supporting the local community since 1939, and we look forward to working with you.
What's going on, everybody? It's Patrick down here at the Wireless Zone at Dunn's Corners at 224 Post Road, and everybody down here is getting the brand new iPhone 16. We have it here in stock. The best part is right now, if you trade in your old phone, you get it for free. We got deals all weekend, awesome savings. Come on down and see us, 224 Post Road, Dunn's Corners, Verizon Wireless Zone. We'll see you soon.
D&V Mechanical specializes in the installation, maintenance, and servicing of Mitsubishi ductless mini-split heat pump systems. We are certified by Mitsubishi as Diamond Elite contractors and factory trained and up to date on the proper procedure of the installation and service of Mitsubishi ductless heating and air conditioning ductless heat pumps. We assist with the paperwork to reduce much of the stress-related documentation required to get the state rebates and federal tax incentives. We are not a jack-of-all-trades, master-of-nothing company. We are masters of ductless heat pumps. It's what we do, and it's what we know.
Experience local excellence with Roof Right Roofing in Charlestown, Rhode Island. With over 40 years of unmatched expertise, Roof Right specializes in architectural shingles and holds the prestigious title of...
Hi, this is Dan from
Wood River Health is my home for health.
Wood River Health is a one-stop shop for primary medical care, dental care, behavioral health, and social services. We care for the members of our community because they are our community. I'm Allison Crow, President and CEO of Wood River Health. Since 1976, our health center has provided high-quality, affordable health care to residents of Rhode Island and southeastern Connecticut. We are your neighborhood health center. Let us be your.
Are you looking for a fresh cut in Westerly? Step into Rio's Barber Shop in Granite Plaza. Whether it's a classic trim or a trendy new look, we've got you covered. Experience the perfect cut for every age and style in a friendly and relaxed atmosphere. At Rio's, it's not just a haircut, it's an experience. Visit Rio's Barber Shop in the Granite Plaza in Westerly or give us a call to schedule your appointment at 401-315-2208. Your style, our craft, Rio's Barber Shop.
It looks like the Wood River Health Fair is wrapping up because they're folding up tables. They were here before we were here, and they said that it's been steady all day, which is good because the whole idea is education. They do so much, Wood River Health, in the community for their patients. And they and the other health centers in the state deserve a whole lot more than they're getting right now out of our federal government. However, this is not a political show. This is a fun show. So we are back with a fun detective, Detective Howie Mills. And I have no idea what he's going to talk about, but
I was hoping you had questions.
You need to use a microphone.
well, yeah, the first, no, just talk. You don't have, yeah, you're on.
I feel like I'm hosting.
You have never been out of words. We don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell that we're in the season by the uptick in traffic. It's interesting to say the least.
Yes.
And the kids aren't even out of school yet, so the real summer time isn't here. But I driving around last weekend was not like the weekend before, and it's been just steadily increasing. So
yeah,
but that's what you get when you live in a resort area with a beautiful beach and a beautiful park and library like this, and beautiful cops.
I don't know about, well,
so
I did say you are very pretty.
Pretty?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I guess I'll take it.
Your mom said that?
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
Yeah.
So being on video has completely changed the show. Now my mom's like, what's that cop coming on? I was like,
Well,
Howie Mills.
what's your mom's name?
Diane.
Hi, Diane. How are you?
Is she going to answer? Okay.
So first thing, coming here today, not realizing, all these different vendors and stuff that are set up. I think that's a great thing. I see Tri-Town, which is great. Navigant Bank is here. The mental health awareness, I think, is huge.
Yes, it is very huge. Do you still ride with a mental health person?
Oh, we have them that come to the station, and when there's something with a mental health crisis or a mental health situation, if they're available, we will just have somebody bring them out to the call once it's safe and secure.
Very good.
Which is absolutely a game changer. It's huge. Mental health is a huge thing. It's a huge component of what we do now. A lot of us officers have been through, all the officers go through mental health training and for awareness, but also there's a bunch of us that are also now clinicians, and we went through. We're not clinicians. We went through and we've done extra training, and there was a lot of it was done by the clinicians, and it's just been a great thing. When I was in community policing, I did a lot of the trainings. Detective Alicio, Sergeant Champlin, that's why I did it with back when we did it, and it's huge. It really is. I think it's something that is definitely needed with all officers now, understanding that not everybody is having a good day, and sometimes somebody just needs somebody to talk to.
It should actually be required, I would think, by every police department. The training.
The training is required, but it's not. But we get continuously further education on it, if when it's available, or they'll put it out there for officers to sign up to do more than just the normal. You can get some extra certification to deal with it, because mental health is such a huge thing.
Yeah,
because sometimes the clinician's not always available, and sometimes the person just needs somebody to talk to. Other times they might need to go to the hospital to speak to somebody. Depends on where they're at, or what's the situation is. And we obviously want to make sure that we get everybody some help if they need it. So I think that's
driving like here today, I heard a public service announcement, and it was from a woman, the woman who was giving the commercial spot, who's in the mental health field. Mm-hmm. And she said, in my career, I have been hit. I have had my wrist broken. I have had, and she mentioned 4 different type injuries. And she said, I shouldn't have to go through that for a career that I've chosen and that I love. But that's where we are today. So it is everyone's problem.
Yes, it is. So what happened was, and there's several of us on the department that we got CIT certified, which is crisis intervention training.
Right.
And which is, again, I think it was probably 40 hours. I think we did of extra training, and it's it's taught me a lot more than just than what you know. You kind of get a little bit more in depth into it. You have different speakers that come and speak, but it's not just regular mental health too. I think I think maybe one of the last days was an officer that had that was retired from another department in Connecticut, and he talked about the struggles that officers have that that retire from the job, and some of the stresses that they have, and the things that they deal with from the things that they've seen. And so like he was great talking about it, and saying that it's always good to even being a police officer, seeing it in another, maybe seeing it in another officer, and talking to that officer about it.
Mm-hmm.
So it again, it's a huge
sharing
thing.
experience.
Of
is what
course,
you're talking about.
right? Of course,
Yeah.
because there's things that there's sometimes that you see on this job that you never want to talk about, especially like how do you talk about something like that to your family? So it's always good to talk to other officers about it.
I remember you said that last month.
I did.
That it's you have seen things that you would never go home and tell your wife or your daughter about, because why?
Well, I mean, I think
no,
just,
that wasn't a
yeah,
question.
oh, yeah.
I mean, in other words, but why do that? Why upset them?
Correct.
Why make them realize that you're in danger?
Right.
Well, they know you're in danger every day.
Yeah, and then also too, like you don't want to, then if you tell there's been times they've asked me, hey, did you because it's social media nowadays, everything's on social media, right?
Yeah.
So if it was something that was
except me.
Yeah, right.
And you.
Yes. So if there's something that happened in town that was tragic or something like that, of course, like you have family members that will call you and say, did you go? What happened? Did you see anything? And I always say, yeah, I prefer not to talk about it, or I can't say anything about it. And even if you were there, like the last thing you want to do is talk to somebody that may not understand it about it, and then they would, you don't want them to dwell on it either.
When you have meetings, and you have meetings every day, don't you? Every morning.
Oh yeah,
pretty
right. There's
much?
roll call. Yep, there's roll call at 8 in the morning, and then at 4, and then at midnight. It's when the shifts are.
When there's been an incident of some sort, whether you're part of it, whether another officer is that not shared with the idea that they could encounter this person again in this type of a situation?
Yeah, all of that stuff is talked about. But so I'll give you an instance too, where the incident at Babcock Village.
Yes.
A
few years ago,
so
which
after
was
that,
terrible.
there was we had department, for anybody that was there that wanted to go to the meeting, could go to the meeting and just share their experience of like what that day was like for them, and
I've
just to
got
talk
to
about it.
interrupt for a minute for people that are listening around the country and around the world that don't know what he's talking about. This was a very serious incident. There was a shooting. A woman was killed who worked for this organization, Babcock Village, which is apartments for seniors and low income. And it was closed down for a while and surrounded until the area was made safe by our police department. That it was one person, correct?
Yes. And
but it was pretty scary. It was a scary day.
Yeah, it was a couple days before Christmas.
Yeah.
I remember that day like it was yesterday. It's one of those days in your careers, there's always some days in your careers that you don't ever forget.
Yep.
That was obviously one of them. I remember from the start of my shift until the end of my shift. That's how vivid a day like that is, like kind of etched in your memory. I remember my wife.
I remember the planes overhead, the
There was
helicopters.
I remember how it all started, where I was talking to my wife on the phone when that call came in, and we had just got new tables and chairs that were in our dining room, and I had just put them together the day before. And it was maybe because it was cold that night, and I had turned the heat up in our house, and the chairs, like one of the chairs, they're wooden chairs, and one of them split down the middle, probably because of the change of the temperature.
Oh.
And my wife in the morning called me while I was working to tell me that she was really upset that this very expensive table and chairs that we just bought, one of them was split down the middle. And, I was telling her it's not a big deal. I will.
Saw like this.
No, I will call. I'm like telling her I'll call this company and we'll get it. And then as I'm telling her this, my radio she can hear my radio obviously a little bit, and she just hears the word active shooter or something to that effect.
Not a good
Have you ever
thing for a
talked
wife
about
to
it?
hear.
Yeah.
Like she was worried about chairs, and then all of a sudden, like her life crumbled in front of her, possibly. Like that's what I
Yeah,
heard,
I
though,
mean,
like
right. Of course, it changes the dynamic of who cares about the chairs, right?
like
Of course.
Right. And I don't remember exactly. I think it might have just said like, I don't remember how the call came, but she heard something and she was just like, what did they just say? And I'm like, I gotta go. And then I just hung up the phone and I just threw the phone. Well, I mean, because I had to go.
Yeah, but active shooter, there's no other way to look at it.
But I don't know exactly I don't remember because it was a few years ago, so I don't remember exactly what she had heard. Maybe she just heard that like I had to go. There was a hot call or something, and again, within a half an hour, it's all over social media. It's all over the news, and so she knew I was obviously going
it was
there.
on the news from Providence. I
Right.
know it was on every radio station.
So she ended up knowing. Like I say this all the time, like, maybe someday she can come on and, and you can ask her pretty much anything. And, you could, and she could give you her point of view on that.
Yeah. You're not allowed to come
No, I'll be here. We'll supervise.
No, I think that's a great idea for a program. What's it like to be, and I don't know if your daughter would want to come on. She's old enough now. She's a teenager. What's it like to know that your dad's in danger every day?
Yeah, I don't know if my daughter fully understands it. Maybe she does, maybe she doesn't.
Well,
but
she's 13 or 14
she just
now.
turned 14 on Monday.
Right.
The one thing that
I don't think you get it until you get it. Like
Maybe
I've
not.
watched all these shows, like I understand this is a wild left field example, but I understand what murder is. I didn't feel it until one of my friends was recently murdered.
Sorry to hear that.
I've had a lot of friends and family and people I know and people I care greatly about die,
Mhm.
but I didn't understand murder until a friend was murdered.
Yeah.
So I don't think you understand your dad's a police officer until you're scared because your dad's a police officer.
Right.
Until you know that.
And I prefer, and again, at 14, I prefer her not to worry about that. She has more important things to worry about than dad.
Makeup,
all that stuff, right? You know what I mean? So I prefer her to worry about nonsensical things like makeup and
prom
and right, or forgetting my shoes for
Movies.
gym class or something like
Yeah.
that. Then the only thing that my wife really ever says is that she always comments to me why people always like when they meet her, like, oh, you're, instead of saying, hey, what's your name, she's like, oh, you must be Howie's wife. She's like, I have a name, it's Kelly.
Yeah.
She just is always like, I always get introduced as like, oh, you must be Howie's wife.
Stephen King,
author,
his wife just donated a ton of money to this organization, and all the newspaper said Stephen King's wife. Her name's Tabitha.
Yeah.
Right.
Her name's Tabitha King.
Yeah.
And it was her money. It wasn't his money. It was her money, and she did it.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Oh, that's a shame.
I gotta be honest with you. I love going to my wife's work. She's director at a preschool. I love going there and meeting all the kids and how they all look up to my wife as it's Miss Mills and
It's Miss Mills' husband.
correct, and that's how I'm introduced, which is completely
Right.
fine. I had to do a show and tell a few 3-4 weeks ago. The kids wanted to see worms. So I brought some night crawlers and some worms. And so I did the show because my wife didn't really want to touch the worms either. So I was introduced as, Miss Mills's husband with the worms. And I was the worm guy.
That happens everywhere. I was talking with our good friend, Dr. Boogie Woogie, yesterday. And he said, I was interviewing him for an upcoming newspaper article because he's going to be performing at the Pops. And he said, I said, well, everybody must know you. He said, they know me as Nicole's husband, the woman from the theater. So I am sure it works both ways with many couples.
Right. And I prefer it to be like that because they don't know really who I am or what I do, which I think is fantastic. They just think it's cool that, I'm not grossed out about holding the worms or,
if they knew you were a cop, it would be, wow, do you have a gun? Have you ever shot it?
Yes,
mean,
I
that's
have
what
gone
kids
there.
do
I
all
have
the
gone there
time.
before in uniform and read them a book. and they love it. But again, the question asking is a little funny after, the police were at my house one time, or and were you the officer that was at my house, or were you the officer that stopped my mom for speeding, or yeah. So it's I think it's great. Just recently her curriculum is pretty much very similar every year. So she recently just hatched I think 8 little chicks at her school. She has an incubator. And so for that, 24, 25 days, the kids.
Is that
see
when
the
the
eggs.
egg price went up? We should bring
Right.
the chickens in.
Well, I end up with the chickens every year because after we hatch them, we end up taking them. So I have, I think, 7 they're all I think they're 3 weeks old now. But she said, her coming home, she's always so happy telling me the stories about how the kids actually got to see the first chicken hatch. They saw the egg rocking, and then it broke inside the incubator, and they were all like, yeah. They thought it was the coolest thing ever to see, an actual
Does
live.
she realize she's absolutely above and beyond any teacher ever?
I don't know, but she just said look, watching her tell me the stories, and because I knew they were gonna hatch because it's our incubator, and so her telling me how when she came home that day, she's like, oh my God, one of the chickens hatched, and we actually had to go back to the preschool that night just because she wanted to do a double check to make sure, see if any of the other ones hatched. Because you can leave them in the incubator up to about 24 hours.
What are the age of these kids?
I think they start at 3 to 5, and then they go so they actually.
So you're really a big deal to them.
So they all so a few probably half the class will graduate and go into kindergarten next year to different schools, because I mean kids from all over the area go. And it's funny because my daughter went to that school, and some of her friends went to that school.
Do you ever trade tips and tricks? Because I've always figured drunk people are kind of like preschoolers.
No,
you two ask very interesting questions.
I can't even tell you. I don't really go out, so
Don't bite our friends. Things that Howie and his wife have both said about
Oh man. What's funny though is because she doesn't really tell me get into detail too often. She just tells me stories about the chickens or things like that. But I don't really know any of the little children's names or anything like that, because she keeps it very just like I do. She'll ask how the day was, and I'm like, I was just busy. Just I'll ask her, how was your day at school, and she'll just be like, oh, a couple of kids weren't feeling well, or they had a great day. They were out on the playground or something like that.
Yeah.
So I think it's but it's cool. I love stopping in there and seeing the kids sometimes when I'm not working.
So tell us, with more people now coming
Yes.
in, when do your CSOs hit the road and start directing traffic?
So we've had
people?
some of them already, ones that have already gone through and been CSOs before have already done some work. I think they really kick off pretty much soon as all the kids are graduated or done with school for the year. I think Charahoe graduates Friday, and I think Westerly might graduate Friday too.
This Friday?
I think Friday.
I think it's with Westerly. I know their baccalaureate's next Tuesday, that would come before.
Yeah, maybe Charahoe it's this Friday. I know within I think between this Friday and next Friday.
They don't graduate on the
same day. That's why I'm thinking maybe one's this Friday, one's next Friday.
Yeah.
But once they're all done with school, and most of the college kids are already done, so they're usually when I used to oversee the program for Officer Algier, right around this time I would have a full Saturday, what do you call it? Just a training day where the new CSOs kind of get an opportunity to check out the ticket machines, understand the rules and regulations of what you can and can't do. And then when they go out and start doing the CSO position, they usually walk with somebody or they work with somebody for at least a week until they kind of understand this is, what's expected of you. That's why it's always great to have returning CSOs, because those returning CSOs will take some of the new kids every day and
again,
them.
I always feel compelled to mention the CSOs are
community service officers, which are just
they're just going to keep the traffic flowing smoothly and people not parking where they shouldn't.
Yep, they're civilians that just work for summer, a seasonal position for the town of Westerly as community service officers. They just fall under the umbrella of the police department. And, if they're working here downtown, they're keeping an eye on the 3-hour parking. making sure people aren't parked in the loading zones. They walk through the park to make sure there's no issues in the park. Make sure people aren't skateboarding on the sidewalks and, doing things like that. Horse playing in the park. Just check on the businesses, make sure everything's fine. Check in with the library, make sure everything in the library is going well. Just out there, just doing ticket enforcement pretty much for the day. If you're working down here in downtown, if you're working in Watch Hill, you're kind of doing the same thing in Watch Hill, walking up and down Bay Street. It's 2-hour parking in Bay Street for the day. It's very important that people understand that in Bay Street it's 2 hours for the day. If you
So you can't move your car 1 block or half a block and start all over again.
Correct. The ticket machine catches that. So the ticket machine understands that, and the ticket machine will.
Is that allowed in the park?
Yes.
Shush, grown up.
So
Nope.
Tell on people.
so the
Just asked.
it's important that people do understand it is 2 hours for the day, and if you do exceed that 2 hours, it's $150 ticket for parking in overtime parking. If you decide that you're just going to park on a side street, that's also considered a tow zone. That's a $150 ticket for parking in a tow zone. So we could have your car towed, give you a $150 ticket. You don't want to do that either.
No, of course not.
Larkin Road
Kind of ruins your vacation.
Yes. For anybody that's not familiar with Watch Hill too much, Bay Street is the main road that's down in Watch Hill. That's got the shops on the left-hand side. Mostly you got
It's
the bay.
street that goes down to the merry-go-round and
Correct.
the ice cream. That's what people know.
Right. When you get to the merry-go-round and you kind of bear left and go up the hill, that's a brand new road. That's called Larkin Road. On the left-hand side, if you're going up Larkin Road, there's several parking spots on your left. Those are for town residents only. Even if you're a town resident, you can't park there unless you have a sticker.
Oh, real? So the sign actually says it's for town residents.
Yes, it's resident
with sticker.
It's residential parking only, sticker required.
Okay.
Okay. So you have to go to the town hall, and go to the rec department and get your town beach sticker and also your Larkin Road sticker. So you can't even if you're a resident, right? Doesn't mean you can still park there if you didn't buy or you didn't get the sticker. So you have to get the sticker even if you're a resident. I think that was like a big misconception. Sometimes people are like, I don't understand why I got a $150 ticket. I'm a Westerly resident. Here's my driver's license. Here's my registration. I see this is where I live here in Westerly. And the CSOs just got to explain to them that unfortunately you are a resident, but you didn't get the sticker. It's a sticker required. You still have to go to the town hall or the rec department and get the sticker.
Plea
Right.
out.
And then once you get everything, I'm sure if you went to that court date at the municipal court, which is on the 3rd floor at the town hall, and if you went there and explained the situation, hopefully they'd be understanding if you really didn't know. So.
Okay.
And then.
So has it been smooth since people have started invading our shores?
It's been busy. You can tell it's on these warm days where it's been very busy.
Oh, yeah.
I think one of the things that people also need to understand, that have never been here before, if you are coming to the Westerly, there's no drinking alcohol on the beach. You cannot drink on the beach. You can't bring alcohol to the beach. You can't drink on the beach. No glass bottles. You cannot drink on the beach.
But if you want to have a drink, there are restaurants and places on the beach where you can go in and on their property, you can have a cocktail or a beer or whatever with your lunch.
Right, responsibly.
Yes.
You just can't just go walk down to the beach and sit on the beach and drink alcohol. You just can't there's no drinking on the beach. The other big thing is smoking on the beach. You can't smoke on the beach. Whatever it is that you smoke, you can't smoke on the beach. Regardless of what it is that you're smoking, you can't smoke on the beach.
Do people try to push the envelope on
Every
that?
single day.
That's what I figured.
Yes.
I'm holding it for, right?
Yes.
All
so
those.
the lifeguards usually do a really good job of just explaining to people that they can't smoke on the beach. It's usually once you let somebody know, hey, there's a smoking area
Well,
over
gee,
here.
I did it in Asbury Park, New Jersey. Yeah, I'm sure
Yeah.
people come up with that
Right.
all
So
the time.
The one thing about smoking on the beach that is my pet peeve is that one cigarette when you're done, you stub it out. Whether I'm sure half of the smoking laws on the beach are because little kids get their feet burned when you flip the cherry of your cigarette onto the sand, and now you have like a 3rd-degree burn on your foot.
Also makes a mess.
But one cigarette pollutes 264 gallons of water.
Like when you throw one cigarette butt in the ocean?
Yep.
Really?
264 gallons of water is completely.
You are such a font of information.
No,
I didn't even think about that.
My brain is.
I wonder how unhealthy it is for an an ant, like a fish or something, that tries to, not knowing what the cigarette butt is, and eats it or attempts to eat it.
Plastic. Actually, the plastic is more like like it has, like
This does
gasoline.
way more
Like,
damage.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of. Yes, it's a filter. Whatever the filters are made of inside the cigarette.
yeah,
It's probably very unhealthy for an animal, for a fish or something to eat it.
Well, it also just makes a mess because people would just put them out in the sand.
Yeah.
There's their ashtray.
I've never smoked a cigarette, but I remember as a kid, Dad, if you're watching, I apologize, but my father used to smoke cigarettes in the car, and he'd open the window about like this far this was back in like the 80s when there was more ashtrays in the car than mirrors. Do you remember? Every door had an ashtray. Yes.
And then the front, right under the radio as
Yep.
well.
Yes.
And
You
you
pull
that one
that
out,
one like
yeah.
pulled out. Yeah, and it had the cigarette lighter.
Yeah.
For any of the young kids, I actually showed my daughter. Somebody sent me a video, and they're saying, things only 80s kids would know, or something like that.
Yeah.
When somebody comes up to your car because your window's open and you get scared, you push the cigarette lighter in because, like, if they go to reach in, you can burn them. Like little things you learn about how.
Like I said, you're a font of information.
So I showed my daughter that, and I said to her, I said, you know how many like times like one of us, me or your sister, your aunts got burned from that dropping the lighter, or my sister would just chase you around with it because it was hot.
I remember
The perfect circle.
I was sitting in the back seat and we were going to like a concert or something, me and my friends, and they were smoking and they flicked their cigarette out the front window, and I had my window open because they couldn't breathe.
It came in the back.
And it came in the back and went up my skirt, and I could not find it, and it burned the crap out of my leg. Like,
Oh
'cause
no!
It was stuck in my skirt.
I never even thought about that.
It
Yeah,
was
see.
out the front and in the back, and it was just like screaming. And he was like, "What?" Like he's like, "What am I gonna hit? What are you screaming about?"
Yeah, not realizing they flicked it out the window.
Yeah, and I couldn't find it. Oh my god, I had to like put it out on my leg. It was terrible. I have a terrible spot.
I bet.
Do we need to stop?
No, I don't care.
Oh, you sure you don't need like a? I thought usually at about 4:30 you take a quick break. That's up to you.
You know what? If we take a quick break, I'm going to run across the street and get my jacket out of the car.
You want me to go grab it for you, Miss Rona?
That's okay.
You sure?
You are listening to Man About Town. This is 321 Media. We are streaming live and in color from downtown Westerly, and we'll be back as soon as I get my jacket.
Experience local excellence with Roof Right Roofing in Charlestown, Rhode Island. With over 40 years of unmatched expertise, Roof Right specializes in architectural shingles and holds the prestigious title of GAF Master Elite Installers. Known for their commitment to the community and support for local initiatives, Roof Right is your trusted partner for all of your home's roofing needs. Call today for a free estimate at 401-212-4140.
Hi, this is Dan from Lathrop Insurance. In this challenging insurance environment, Lathrop Insurance can be your beacon in the storm to help you find the coverage you need at the right price. Now, more than ever, you need a partner in the insurance industry that can work with multiple carriers to make sure you have the right coverage at the right price. Lathrop Insurance carries home, auto, and business insurance and can be reached at 401-596-2525. We've been supporting the local community since 1939, and we look forward to working with you.
What's going on, everybody? It's Patrick down here at the Wireless Zone at Dunn's Corners at 224 Post Road, and everybody down here is getting the brand new iPhone 16. We have it here in stock. The best part is right now, if you trade in your old phone, you get it for free. We got deals all weekend, awesome savings. Come on down and see us, 224 Post Road, Dunn's Corners, Verizon Wireless Zone. We'll see you soon.
D&V Mechanical specializes in the installation, maintenance, and servicing of.
Hi, this is Dan from Lathrop Insurance. In this challenging insurance environment, Lathrop Insurance can be your beacon in the storm to help you find the coverage you need at the right price. Now, more than ever, you need a partner in the insurance industry that can work with multiple carriers to make sure you have the right coverage at the right price. Lathrop Insurance carries home, auto, and business insurance and can be reached at 401-596-2525. We've been supporting the local.
Wood River Health is my home for health.
Wood River Health is a one-stop shop for primary medical care, dental care, behavioral health, and social services. We care for the members of our community because they are our community. I'm Allison Croak, President and CEO of Wood River Health. Since 1976, our health center has provided high-quality, affordable health care to residents of Rhode Island and southeastern Connecticut. We are your neighborhood health center.
D&V Mechanical specializes in the installation, maintenance, and servicing of Mitsubishi ductless mini-split heat pump systems. We are certified by Mitsubishi as Diamond Elite Contractors and factory trained and up to date on the proper procedure of the installation and service of Mitsubishi ductless heating and air conditioning ductless heat pumps. We assist with the paperwork to reduce much of the stress-related documentation required to get the state rebates and federal tax incentives. We are not a jack-of-all-trades, master-of-nothing company. We are masters of ductless heat pumps. It's what we do, and it's what we know.
Hi, I'm AJ Trott.
And I'm Jeff Swiderski with AnnieMac Home Mortgage's Momentum Group, your trusted partner in the home buying process.
At AnnieMac, we can strengthen your offer with our innovative program, Cash to Keys, giving you a competitive edge by allowing you to make a cash offer on your new home.
Together, we've helped over 1,000 families move into their dream homes, and we'd love to do the same for you.
Give us a call today at 401-486-0853 to get started.
Trusted Choice agents are in every Rhode Island community. They are your neighbors and friends who deliver the right policy at the right price from America's top insurance companies.
At Woodman C Insurance, we have been serving our clients and our community for over 60 years. By combining the level of personal attention you desire with the expertise you deserve, we develop an insurance portfolio designed to meet the specific needs of your family or business. And when the people who protect us need protecting, they trust Woodman C Insurance. Come put the Woodman C Insurance team to work for you.
And we are back. I got my jacket. For those of you who don't live in New England, that's the thing about New England. When I got here, it was 80 some degrees. I took off the jacket, left it in the car. Now the wind is blowing as we head towards 5 o'clock. And we got this big thing just down the road called the ocean. And that makes for a lot of wind and changes the weather quite a bit. But we love it.
We do.
So tell me what else. What have you noticed? Anything new with people coming in, or do they ask the same questions? Do people come in? I've never asked you this, but when
I love new questions. This is great.
In Watch Hill, do they ask the CSOs where's Taylor Swift's house?
Of course.
All the time,
all day long.
Wow.
I can't tell you how many times I've been places and they find out we're from the Westerly area, and they might not even know that I'm a police officer. They just, my wife like, oh yeah, we live down, just outside of Westerly, and people are like, oh, isn't that the town that Taylor Swift owns a house? So,
Hi.
And we have a visitor from the Navigant Credit Union. You want to pick up the mic? This is
go for it, Gina.
This is Gina. And Gina is the branch manager of the Westerly Credit Union.
Westerly Navigant Credit Union. Westerly
Yes,
Credit Union, they might get
right.
a different
The
vibe.
Navigant Credit Union, said Rona, looking at her shirt.
Yes. No, today, it was a great event today. I was here for the setup and first half.
She's talking about the Wood River Health Fair.
Yes.
And they had a lot of people come through, right?
They had a lot of people. There were a lot of vendors, neighborhood health. I can't remember them all, but they were all great resources, mental health, veterans, everything. Little kids, poison control, all sorts.
We'll be with the Navigant Credit Union in 2 weeks.
June 18th.
But I'm going to ask you one question before I kick you out because it's Howie's show.
No, I wanted to ask her some questions. But
no. The question I wanted, we're talking about, there's been a change over the last couple of weeks around town in traffic.
Yes.
They're starting to come in, and you are a native.
I am.
So what do you notice every year when they come in?
Less Rhode Island plates.
Yes.
Very good.
Yeah. A lot of congestion, a lot of traffic, a lot of impatience. It's the community we live in. Right?
It is.
Yeah.
It used to take, in the wintertime, it takes me about 7 to 8 minutes to get to Walmart.
Yeah.
I judge everything by going to Walmart.
Yeah.
And it takes about 12 minutes to get to
Yeah.
Walmart, 15 minutes to get to Walmart at this time of the year because you're like your two light changes now
Well,
on
that's what
78
I'm
getting
saying.
onto Route.
I go down Route 1 and I'm like, sometimes I can make get from my house to work with no red lights, but now with
Wow.
all the traffic, it messes that up. And I'm like, you get one, you get them all. So.
Yes.
Also, Rhode Island, I feel like people don't know how to drive through the most because we have quirky things like yield signs.
Yeah.
That yellow line, the double line, that's a circle when you're taking a turn or like when you're turning, and you get into that circle.
And they
that
cross
you're-
over.
Yeah, but they're like, and I'm like, it's not a lane.
Right.
I'm not going anymore. I'm going that way. Go
Yeah.
right.
I'm going back to what you said. We have weird things like yield signs.
Oh my God.
Thank goodness they have them on 78. If they didn't, because that's like
I don't think people even yield at the yield signs going on to 70. I cannot even tell you how many times I put people over that don't yield. And then like, what did I do?
This is right. They need to have a sign that says
fly.
you
Just go.
have the right of way.
Just go.
Right. Just go.
Like a go sign.
Right,
You know
'cause-
how there's stop
right.
signs? Go sign.
But so when you come off of Elm, right, there's a stop sign there. So Broad Street starts up there at the light. So Broad Street is one road, so you have the right of way.
Correct.
You can't come off of
But if you're not from Rhode Island,
I
I
get
know.
that.
if
Yes.
you're not from Westerly, you still don't know that.
If
That
you-
intersection is wild. It's my favorite.
It's-
like Matchbox cars when we were a kid.
'Cause you're like, I know I
And
can
lots
go.
of people were like, are they
Yeah.
gonna crash? Are they gonna crash? Are they crash?
And it hasn't changed in about 100 years because if you go to the town hall and you go
The
up to the
show is
third
going
floor,
downhill.
there's pictures of that
that.
intersection,
Yeah.
and it's
just like
there's
that.
not much of it that has changed
No.
over time.
I said there's a yield sign at the bottom. It's okay.
All right. I'm going to give it
No,
back.
I got one more question for you.
Yes.
So
I'm on the spot.
Welcome.
right,
Welcome to
just
the Howie
dealing
Mills
dealing
Show.
with the
Fraud.
with the fraud.
Yeah.
Do you if you had an uptick of people trying to cash fraudulent checks that they've met people online who have tried to give them checks and like they've friended them and said, hey, you know,
Yeah, we get more of the people coming in trying to make a large cash withdrawal
yes,
because someone's calling them and it's a scam, but they feel there's a sense of urgency. They leave them on the phone. They say
Yes.
they guide them exactly what to say. So it's more of those people take. So we are trained. I mean, and we constantly, and they'll try to go to another branch. We share everything. As soon as it happens in one branch, the whole organization knows it.
mhm.
Well, that's great.
Yeah,
I mean,
because we have so many 26 branches. You're
Yeah.
bound to go to another one only a few minutes away.
short commercial.
So
They are the largest credit union in the state of
Yeah.
Rhode Island.
So it's more of those that we see where they're trying to get out that large cash. So we press them and they get mad,
Mhm.
but we've saved people from giving up those funds. It takes a couple of days and we put them on hold and we don't have the money, la la la. So, but it's because we're trying to protect
I am so
them.
happy to hear that you were able to share that information because I've been on the phone with people that I've called or somebody said I think that they're trying to withdraw money. I think they're being scammed, and I'll be on the phone with them and I'm like I really believe you're getting scammed. They're like,
Right.
no, I'm not. Like
Right.
this money is to buy a car.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you sure? It sounds like you like. In my honest opinion, I think you're being scammed.
Right.
And and there's been times where they've called and said the bank's not giving me my money.
Yes.
And
They're
I'm like,
calling the cops on the bank.
well, they're
Yeah.
upset because like
They
they're
want
just,
their money.
Yeah.
Oh, they think they're great.
but they're
It's like,
protecting their
We're
customers.
protecting them, but then the people that are trying to scam them literally will sit on the phone with them and
4 or 5
tell
hours.
them when you go into the bank or you go into your credit, this is what you say. This is what you tell them. You don't give them any other information. Keep me on the phone in your pocket because they want to hear the questions being asked.
Right.
And they stress
And
the
people
person
will
out,
fall for that.
Unfortunately,
It's high pressure.
They get very mean.
Yes. And
I've never
they
seen
make you feel scared.
yes.
They make you feel scared. They're trained. They're great at what they do.
Mhm.
It's awful. But
brutal. When I
so
hear
we
the
just
stories
educate.
back,
So
yeah.
we're like to keep educating people because the more people are aware of it, hopefully they realize.
Well, that's
it's
why
not.
we've talked so many
Absolutely.
times over the years. We can
Yeah.
never talk scams.
I was at
too
the
much.
Westerly Yacht
No.
Club a couple weeks ago, giving a presentation on scams. And one of the people that were actually at the presentation came to the station the other day because they had a question about a scam.
Yeah.
Or thought that they might be getting scammed. I had one today. I just got a saying that my registration, my vehicle is going to be suspended because I still owe for a Easy Pass.
Right. I get that text message.
And I'm like, I don't even have Easy Pass.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
go ahead, suspend my license.
I
Yeah,
know.
I guess we'll deal
Yeah,
with it
they had
then.
that in the paper this week that has escalated
Yes.
the toll thing.
Right.
Right.
Well, they kind of revolve the scams. I mean, they'll come out like the
It
grandma
cycles
scam
through,
will be
yeah, the
strong for a
dating
while, and then it kind of
scams.
peters down, then it comes out again.
Something new.
Yeah, they're very smart people.
But I just know that just lately, dealing with some of the things and talking to people that we've had a big uptick in people friending people online and
Yeah.
then getting a large
check.
a large check, and it ends up being a fake check.
Right.
And they're very good at forging these checks.
Right.
But they say, hey, cash this, put this $30,000 in your bank, just send me 20.
Right. You
keep 10.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I
And that doesn't sound fishy to people,
so
huh?
I have an iPhone. And so every time they like ask me for like my information or something, I'm like, I'm gonna need an advance first, and I send them a $1,200 request.
Anybody ever bid on it? No.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they stopped talking to me.
Right. Yeah.
But I mean,
I may join
Do you have
them.
any way to? Is there any? And again, I don't know this, and that's why I'm asking, because I'm not in your field.
Yeah.
Is there any way that when that check comes in, are you able to kind of quickly determine whether it's fraudulent?
We reach out to our security department. And if it's something that we feel is fraud or the member feels is fraud, we just hold on to it. We send it up and they do their legwork to see.
Yep. Reach out to that bank.
Yes,
reach out
because I actually had a member, it was a legit check, but she didn't remember ever dealing with this company that sent her a check, and it wasn't a large amount. But thankfully she knew enough. I don't know if this is real. So we said, okay, well, let us hold it. We'll do research. We'll get back to you.
And people
they
should,
did. They
people should not be afraid to come in and do that.
Security did their research. It ended up being from a company that she had done business with like probably 15 years ago. So she forgot. It made sense after we reminded her and all of that. And we deposited it and it was legit. That was fine. But they can look into it. They have all the resources.
Oh, that's great.
Because they can call other institutions too.
And that's
look
what
at
I figured,
signatures
too.
and all of that. We can only look at what we have. But no, our security department does a great job at that.
That's great.
I get targeted all the
And they're
time.
on. They're always on.
Like
Mhm.
people will say they're giving me a deposit or something. Oh, and I tried to pay the photographer and they live down the street from you, so I'm gonna send you double because this is their deposit too. And I'm like, okay,
Huh?
but I'm not gonna give anybody any money.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
The
No, thanks.
word that I hear all the time when people are scammed, and I say, so you went to this bank and they gave you 5,000, or they gave you 10,000 or 20 or
Yeah.
30,000, and I always ask them, what did you say to them? Because I know that you were going to ask a lot of questions, and they
Yeah.
always say, I'm doing it for home improvement.
Yeah. Yep.
That's the go-to.
That's the go-to.
That's the go-to.
Or buying a car.
Yeah, I'm buying a car for my grandchild. Those are the two things that I've learned, that the scammers, they prep them
Yes.
and what to say.
Today, not in my branch, there was a gentleman that went into one of our branches requesting a large sum of money, buying a car. We pressed him. They refused him, and he was left very angry. But we know it's going to come back that it was a scam. It's
Mhm.
not. We're not trying to keep people's money from them.
But unfortunately, you said no. He left angry. Would he now look to go somewhere to somebody who will give him the money?
But he has the money with us. He probably doesn't have that money
okay.
in another institution, so he may at one of our branches, but he's already flagged. So we're going to continue
Good.
to press him.
That is so
And
great,
it's
though,
for
that you
protection.
do
It's
that.
And the thing is, even if he's mad at, and I know where Rona was saying is that even if they're originally mad, like, I'm going to take my money out of Navigant because they wouldn't give me my money, and then in about 24 hours from then they realize, oh my God, I was going to get scammed.
Oh,
and
they're
like,
forever like.
yeah, they're indebted. Like they feel like
Yes.
they are, because they're like,
Yeah.
they really saved me when I wasn't thinking clearly, because there was, again, high pressure.
Yeah.
High, like a lot of pushing, a lot of being mean, and
Yeah.
they really listen to people how stressed out they got on the phone, and how they stressed out they were, especially as they're a little bit older, they're not comprehending anything.
No, and they get nervous. They know how to
Yes.
pull at the right people.
Yeah. Don't talk to your family. Don't tell your family.
Don't tell
about it.
anybody.
Right.
yeah, anything that's a secret is not good. There's an officer, we worked on his car, and he was telling us, just warning us, because we own a auto shop. Don't let anyone use your cell phone. If you're gonna let them use your phone, let them use the landline that we have. Don't give them your cell phone. And I'm like, why? They're gonna take off? And he's like, no, they're gonna scan it.
Oh.
And they get your Apple Wallet. They with magnets in your phone, and they communicate with all these readers. So there's something that they have, like either on their sleeve or something, and
Maybe.
it scans with your phone.
Yeah.
So they use it, or they call a number. I don't know what they do, but they're scanning people's phones.
Yeah.
Like, can I? I'm trapped. I'm not asking for any money. I swear. Can I just use your phone real quick to call my mom?
Right. Well, you're going to see more of those people because in the industry that you're in, because
Yeah.
people are coming
They
in
come in all the
with an
Right.
issue.
But even if just because I've heard of that scam before, what you do is say, okay, what's the number you're looking for? You dial it, and then you put it on speakerphone, and you kind of hold it out
Yeah.
and let them,
If it really, right.
Yeah,
if it
because
really is
Right.
that
your
happens
situation.
all the time, and I would love to help you, but
yes.
don't touch
Isn't it a shame that we have to be thinking of this stuff all the
Non-stop.
time?
I know it's tiring.
I mean, years ago, if you had a cell phone and somebody said, "Could I use it for a minute?" Sure.
Right, here's my flip
Yeah,
phone.
I
It was
don't,
a
I
lot
don't,
easier
yeah,
time.
I don't have any, as
Exactly.
you know, I have no social media of any kind. So sometimes I have to ask my daughter a question about, hey, what is this app that these kids are using? Or
Yeah.
what is this app that these kids are using?
Yeah.
Because I'm not up on any of that,
Yeah.
but I have a 14-year-old that will
I was gonna say
throw
she
me all
just
in.
happy birthday, Bella.
Yeah, she just turned 14 on Monday.
She did.
Well, you've got 2 sons. I bet they know more about social media than you do.
Well, I keep the younger one a little bit. I try to keep him a little bit more protected. But yeah, they're all in those apps.
Yeah. And it's hard because that's how friends communicate now.
Yeah.
They don't want to talk to each other.
I don't even know if I shut my car off.
Oh, that's not
Now that
good.
I'm thinking of
Well,
it, it's right there. On that note,
all right. Well, Gina, nice to see you.
good to see you.
Tell your husband I said hi.
I will.
Thanks for stopping.
Hey,
in.
I'll see you in a couple weeks.
Yeah, very good. Thank you. That's
Bye,
Gina,
Gina.
from the Navigant Credit Union Westerly branch.
Yes. Her husband was was the best.
Peter. Oh, that's
Yes.
right. You know Peter.
gonna say favorite. You can have favorites, Howie.
Yeah, he's awesome.
You have about 10 minutes.
Okay.
So what else would you like to bring up? 'Cause
I mean,
you've never been at a loss.
so I think that, as we're getting into these, I mean, it would be nice just to talk about, like, we're in the summer months, right? So, a couple of things that are important. I've seen the uptick in calls. People now, dogs in cars, children in cars, the weather's heating up, you got to be like thoughtful of those kind of things. Your car can stall, so, just because you are going in the store and you think that you have the windows down and your dog's going to be okay, your car's going to get
I
extremely
saw
hot.
it yesterday at Aldi's.
Yeah.
The window was completely down, but the dog was hanging out the window, panting and crying.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how long mom or dad had been in Aldi's, and even with the window
Right.
open.
And I'm not sure if you still have animal control officer in Wesley, Art Smith, on too often
Yes.
anymore, but he can give you the statistics. I call him
Yeah,
sometimes.
he's been on with us, and he has given us
Yeah,
those
and
statistics.
it's
I have statistics for you. 100% of the time, I will break your window.
yeah.
But this window was wide open.
I can't even tell you. There's been times where I've shown up with lockout kits and I've gotten dogs out of the vehicle. There was one time, the poor lady put their child in the car and was just going around to get in the car and accidentally put the keys inside the car.
And locked herself
The
out.
child, I think, hit the lock button.
Ah.
And the keys were there, and so thank God the car was running and the AC was on. It was summertime, but we have lockout kit, and I was able to get inside the car fairly quickly. But it's you're right.
You're like looking at your gas gauge, like, is this okay?
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those things where it's if anything was going to be danger, then we'd smash the window out. But at that point, the AC was on and everything was good. But you never know. I mean, there's been several instances where I think one time several years ago, some little kid climbed through somebody's back window in a pickup truck to open the door for a dog that was stuck in a car that was hot inside, and the dog was panting, and they got the dog out of somebody else's car. But I think he just acted, and he
just don't think.
Yeah, and he was just wanted to make sure get the dog out okay.
I'll probably try your door before I break your window, but I will break your window if it's locked.
Yeah, so I mean, things like that, like little things that people don't realize that have become issues is bringing pets, also having pets on the beach.
That's right. No pets on the beach.
Correct. It's important. Yeah.
During the winter, they can walk with them.
They can
on the beach.
Yeah, your dog's got to be leashed always.
Right.
That's obviously very important to leash your dog. Even coming down here to the park this time of the year, as we're looking around, there's
every
numerous
dog
people,
I've seen has been unleashed,
which is great. But we have the summer pops coming up, which is great. This month. Speaking of different things. Oh, and I would be remiss if I didn't talk about it, because I talked to Officer Algier about it, because he sets it up every year. Hope Day.
That's right. That's this
Saturday. Yes.
Yep, in Bradford.
At the old Bradford School. I think it's 16 Church Street, but it's the old Bradford School, right to the left of the church.
I just read it. I think it was in today's paper.
Was it?
Today or last night, one
Yeah.
or the other, but I just read it.
Yes.
Yeah.
The culinary from the high school will be cooking.
Yep.
And
so it's going to be hot dogs and hamburgers.
I think so.
and
Yeah.
Ice cream, and they're
Oh,
gonna
really?
play games.
That's
and-
awesome. Rain or shine.
Yep.
It's going to be going on, and then the police department we will be there in the parking lot to the right. I think we're going to be set up at the church parking lot. We'll be doing free child seat clinics.
Ah,
So if anybody,
very good.
yeah, so if anybody wants to have their child seat looked at, or if they're having a baby, or if they have a grandchild that's expecting, or you know,
the grandchild better not be expecting.
Oh, I'm sorry. If they have,
expected.
Yeah,
expected.
If the grandparent's expecting a grandchild and they're expecting to have a grandchild, then
no, we knew what you were
yes,
talking
please
about.
come and see us, because I actually just spoke to a grandparent on the phone today, and I told them to come see us on Saturday, and we'll install the child seat for them safely, because they had a lot of questions about should I put it in now? Should I wait? And I said, it's up to you. If you want to wait, we'll show you how to install it.
Yeah, because a
all
lot
that.
of people would say, I'm good. I got it in. He or she's already riding in it.
Yes.
Fine. Let me take a look anyway.
Absolutely.
Because I've learned that much from listening to you.
Yes.
And which way they should be facing, and at what age and or
Yeah.
size should they move. There's a lot.
Yeah,
I mean, you go to school and get recertified for this, and people don't probably think they take it out of the box, stick it in there, and they're all
Mhm.
set.
We actually did a child seat clinic this past Saturday at Walmart, and it was great. We had a bunch
How
of
many minutes did it take you to get there?
about 10, a little bit long, because I had to go to the police department
Because
first.
you said
But-
because you said you measure everything
I
by
did.
how long to
but
get to Walmart.
I think it was Monday when I went to Walmart in the morning. It took me about 8 minutes, because it was about 6:37 when I went. It was-
Yeah.
I only had one
Best
light.
time of day to drive.
It is.
around.
It is, because as we're talking about this time of the year, if you're on 78, you might be going before you taking a left onto Route 1. You might be there for 2 light cycles.
Yeah.
But
at least
we have to expect it. It's this time of the year. We live in this beautiful beach community, and there's an uptick in traffic. And if you live off 78 or you're coming home on 78, you expect traffic on 78 either way. If you're coming to Westerly in the morning, there's gonna be traffic. If you're leaving Westerly in the afternoon, you have beach traffic that's leaving 78.
Okay, well, we're going to see you next month, unless you're going to be in Florida.
I will not be in Florida.
Good.
I will be here.
If you would like to bring your wife with you, I think that would make
Yes.
a great program.
Yes.
To talk about being a cop's wife.
I think we're actually going to get my brother-in-law and sister-in-law that are in Florida to come back up here to the Northeast and enjoy a week up here this summer.
Yeah, because a lot of people in Florida do that. It gets so beastly hot, they can't take it down there.
And they're originally from the area, so it'd be nice for them to come back and visit.
Next week, our guest will be Everything Summer Pops. We're going to have conductor Maestro Andrew Howell. We will have Isabel McCullough from the chorus, and we'll have the guy who started the whole thing 44 years ago as a one-off at the post office, Dr. Doug Rayner. He will be with us as well. So make sure you are with us at Man About Town. Please be very safe this week. Yes, obey the yield signs. Don't park more than 3 hours. Don't park if you don't have a sticker. Don't park.
Right.
And
don't drink on the beach.
Don't drink on the beach. Don't smoke on the beach. Don't bring your dog on the beach. We could do another hour on this.
Absolutely.
And yet I still say, take a chance in life. Just don't do it on the road. You'll never know what can happen. Be well, and we will see you next week on Man About Town. A special shout out to our boss, Ben. You be well too. And we'll see you on 321 Media next week.
Happy birthday.